take you on a ride. Why you so salty? I'll still take a bite.
Okay, you can take my Lambo. I'll put on a tight show. You sure you can handle? We be faster than Django.
Gonna take you on a ride. We're gonna do it tonight. Why you so salty? I'll still take a bite.
You can take my Lambo. I'll put on a tight show. You sure you can handle? We be faster than Django.
Can't stop, won't stop. I can't stop, won't stop. I can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop.
So Mark, how long have we wanted to do this, man?
This has been a long time coming, this one, hasn't it?
It has, 100%. So ever since we did our Urban Pro launch and we had Rick English come, I've just been thinking about wheeling my Gixxer 750.
It's been going on even longer than that for me. It must be the last, I don't know how many years, maybe 10 actually.
Maybe 10 years.
I've been wanting to do this. So
It's got to be the holy grail, hasn't it, of motorcycling, is popping that wheelie.
it's definitely perceived as being the coolest thing you can do on two wheels, right?
100%. So, I mean, for me personally, after that shoot we did with Rick, you know, of course, like everybody, I've been, you know, YouTubing it, how do you pull a wheelie, all that kind of stuff. And the spot I've got to, I can do a tiny pop of one. But actually, do you know what? My bike, I don't know about you, but my bike is my pride and joy. And, you know, it's a bloody dangerous thing, gonna learn how to do this. So, you know, where I've kind of got to is the point, do you know, I need to learn from somebody.
Yeah.
So that's why we're here today. So we've been at Extreme Wheelie in York, and you know what have you thought to the day, Mark?
Well, you can probably see by the expression on our faces that it has been absolutely epic today. I mean, I, to be honest with you, I've come here pretty wet behind the ears. I've never, the front wheel of my bike's ever come was probably 3 millimeters, and that was by accident. And you know, I've never really tried it. I know we've played at it on the airfield, but you know, the truth is I am a complete rank amateur.
Yes.
So came to this clean slate.
Yeah.
But what a great day. You know, not only have I learned pretty much how to pull a wheelie, but you have an enormous amount of fun doing it.
The position that we ended with, I was pretty confident, quite probably cocky. You know, I thought, I'm going to be able to pull a bloody wheelie by the end of the day, and I could. No offence, I was less sure that you were going to nail it.
No, absolutely.
You know, based on what we experienced in the morning. But I tell you what, by the end of the day, you were absolutely nailing it, Mark.
But the interesting thing is actually, I think a lot of it, as much as the technique and the practice and being instructed correctly, which is absolutely what we've had today, is incredibly important. You've got to have the right mindset, haven't you?
Yeah.
And a lot of people, probably, I'm your archetypal example, quite fearful, quite cautious, not that confident. But the way that it happens today, the way that they take you through the process from start to finish, you know, I was frankly pretty useless at the start of the day, and by the end of it, I've got the front wheel up and I'm hammering down the airstrip.
Yeah, hammering it.
So, you know, invaluable.
I remember, do you know, at our October launch, didn't we interview Rick English?
Yes.
One of the questions I asked him was, how do you pull a wheelie, Rick? And he kind of sort of skirted around it, didn't he? And now I understand why.
Well,
and if I'd have, you know, I'm pretty sure if I'd have just continued down that whole YouTube-y, how to pull a wheelie, all that kind of stuff, it'd have taken me 3 years to even get what I've done in one day.
Yeah.
Could have worked it out. Yeah, I'm sure, you know, someone worked it out to begin with, didn't they? Yeah, but, you know, the progression that you make, and you're under expert, these guys really know, Ash and Steve.
Yeah.
They're
without
experts.
a doubt. And I think it's no great secret, is it, that there is more than one technique, there is more than one method. But what they teach here, in my opinion, is the safest, the most consistent, and ultimately the most enjoyable way to get it done.
Yeah.
Because Jeff standing behind the camera, you know, he's no wheelie expert, but let's be honest, he was
Well, he was Jeff was probably the best, to be fair.
It was
wasn't
competition winning today, wasn't
he?
it?
He was, yeah.
He's going for the wheelie world record next week.
I think he did at least 3 cones.
At least 3.
At least 3.
I really thoroughly enjoyed it, and I didn't know whether I'd be able to do it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm a guy that's been riding motorbikes probably 40 odd years or 45 years, and
But your wheelie
you know,
experience.
when you learn when you've been riding so long and you learn bad habits, is it easy to change after that length of time? So I was a bit concerned that I couldn't.
Yeah.
But I did. So
But
you know, hey,
you've
that's
proved
great.
yourself to be very adaptable today,
Yeah.
haven't you?
Well, yeah.
Have you in fairness, in terms of wheelies historically, I've never seen you pull wheelies before, and I've seen you ride a lot of bikes.
I'm
Just
shit-
not some.
I'm
That's one. Well, not anymore. Not
Well.
anymore, Jeff.
No, I mean, to be fair, I've never been really interested in pulling wheelies because I've always perceived it to be a bit of a show-off thing.
You're probably
And
not
I'm
wrong.
I'm not really into that kind of thing. I'd just rather have fun.
Yeah.
But I'm amazed at how much fun it really is.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's no doubt when you pull a wheelie and you pull a nice wheelie, it's cool.
It
looks
does
cool.
look really cool.
It
doesn't
looks cool. It feels cool.
And do you feel like after what you've experienced today, it'd be something you might do occasionally in the future? That's the $1 million question.
Does that mean at every opportunity? No. Well, I think what Ash has already suggested is fundamental, that you'll never get it unless you practice, and for sure I've got to practice.
Yeah.
So look, this is Ash. So Ash
Hi,
is one of the
guys.
owners of Extreme Wheelie and been heavily on tutoring us today. So do you know
has.
what? Firstly, I just want to thank you for such an amazing day we've had.
It's all right. It's been good, hasn't it?
It's been fantastic, and
Fair bit of progression, I think.
it was definitely. So in the camera, obviously, it shows us wheeling. Can you confirm that definitely was us?
How much?
Yeah.
It definitely was. Yeah, it was. There was a lot of progression today. So,
Yeah.
all 3 of you certainly did really well. I think, obviously, depending on the footage, there might be a little highlight to prove all 3 of you
Oh man.
were kind of in sync at the end.
Well, I couldn't believe you said that. So Ash said at the end, look, all 3 of you go side by side, and I'm thinking,
Yeah.
but you're clearly confident.
Yeah, I was. I'd spoke to Steve about it. We'd seen enough through the day.
Okay.
The way that things were progressing. It's something that probably you guys would never ever would imagine that you could do.
No.
So if there was a fighting chance of it, and we thought it was still going to remain safe, certainly it wasn't detrimental to any of your progression. In fact, I think it probably boosted your progression.
Yeah.
Because then you all of a sudden realised just how much more control you had.
Oh yeah.
3 of you in line, and it just smashed it. Not literally, but in a good way.
In a good way.
Yeah.
So your background, Ash, is obviously very, stunting.
So straight from school, road racing and motocross racing, and I've just always been in extreme sports all my life. And then probably 15, 20 years as a stunt performer on bikes. So I've just always been around bikes, and heavily a performer really has been the main thing, stunt performer. And over the last few years, certainly the tuition side has grown and grown and grown. Obviously, I've known Steve a long time through shows and things like that. And then basically the Yamaha family, I guess you could call it, and Steve kind of invited me in, and it's just seems to be rocketing off. So we must be doing something right.
You know, everybody says about their tuition, this is going to make you a better rider. For me, I feel like what we've experienced today is not only about literally just pulling a wheelie. I think it's definitely, I'll probably come away and think, yeah, I'm a better rider for that. I've got more control. I understand actually now what bloody back brake is for.
Yeah. A lot of people don't even realise there is a back brake.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
or what it does,
Yeah.
or how effective it can be. I think for us as well, it's more about the rider feeling more safer and more
Yes.
control of a bike. Yeah, they'd like to wheelie. It's a wheelie school, but actually it's far more than a wheelie school.
One of the questions I was wanting to ask, obviously we've done the day now and we've all got the bike in the air. In fact, you called Jeff evil, didn't you?
Yeah. Mr. Knievel.
Mr. Knievel.
Yeah, we needed a longer runway, I think.
Yeah,
he was on one, so too much Haribo.
That's right.
I saw him sneaking a few in at lunchtime, I think. So.
But for us, what does progression look like now in terms of doing what we're doing today? How do we go and take that to the next step?
Well, I guess for you guys, certainly it would seem quite obvious if I was to explain the progression because you've already been on a day. But,
yes.
But you've seen the direction that you've gone in.
Yes.
So you've come from some either not being able to wheelie at all or being intimidated, maybe, with, a lot of riders are intimidated by the sheer thought of it. You guys now, by the end of your day, have started to wheelie and be more controlled on the bikes. And the progression for that, really, is for us to slow you down even more.
Yeah.
As opposed to speed up, slow down. Develop more control, get more height, more distance, and more control while carrying the bike over this distance. So there's a lot of progression. We've probably had guys that have come 2 or 3 times that will literally walk alongside us.
Really?
So walking pace, and then just wheelie off into the sunset from walking pace. So that's guys that have been 2 or 3 times, and also guys that go away and practice.
Yeah.
Because the one thing I just know for myself in this sport or other sports, practice. And then when you finish practicing, go and practice. It's quite a good rate of progression. 2 or 3 times back, or maybe quicker. For everybody's different.
Sure.
But you will be wheeling. You will be forced to be slower on your bike, more
Yes.
controlled, carry the bike longer, and higher.
Another quick question I had is, my bike's a GSX-R 750, so the power delivery is quite different to what I rode today, being the MT09. How do you see that working out?
Buy an MT09. So, funny enough, one of my first stunt bikes was a GSX-R 750, and they're quite revvy.
Yeah.
They're quite a revvy thing. So you tend to work higher up the rev range.
Okay.
So, and also the riding position.
But all the principles I learned today, I'll be able to...
It's the same, yeah. Everything's the same. You would just adjust to suit that particular bike.
Okay, well, you know what? It's been awesome. Thanks again.
It has. It's been a really good
appreciate
day.
it.
Yeah.
We've had a bit of a laugh as well, haven't we?
I think we had a lot of laughs along the way, yeah. So it's been...
Bit of unicycle.
We've had the unicycles, yeah, that's been good. So I will say you're the first rider ever to come that can already ride the unicycle. So that's been good. So yeah, you put up a challenge there with the unicycles.
Thanks again, Ash.
So, awesome, buddy.
Cheers,
Thank
bud.
you. It's been good.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
What's the next step? I think at some point we're going to have to actually try on our own motorcycles, right?
Well, I think
How do you see that going?
I don't generally do anything particularly intelligent, but what I have done recently is buy a really cheap, nasty motorcycle that I don't mind dropping down the road. So that's exactly what I'll be doing. So I think one of the other interesting points is it's brilliant this day. It is so, going from where I started this morning to where I am now, complete worlds apart in terms of my confidence. I'm wheeling a bike, but I do think practice is absolute king, isn't it? I think.
Yeah. So look, we're going to put all of the links for the wheelie school in the description, so you can check out all that. You can go onto their website, book it in with them. There's all the pricing information, the various locations. I know the guys are looking to expand as well, so in the future there might be a school closer to you, depending on where you live.
But I'd still travel.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Actually for me, I think it was more about finding the right school.
Yeah.
And I couldn't recommend it highly enough. And do you know what? It's been the most fun day. Needless to say, we've also been wearing, of course, all of the Knox kit. So all of the kit that we've been wearing is in the description too, so you can go and check that out as well. But you know what, Mark? We've had such a good, fun day, haven't we?
Yeah, couldn't
thumbs up?
I'd say so. Thank
you. Great. So thanks so much for watching. Please like, please comment, please subscribe to the channel. Click your notification bell as well. That'll just notify you when we have the next video available. So thanks again, and we'll see you next time.